you nutsacks can have fun doing a show tonight. I bought a time machine off Amazon. Gonna test it out real quick, set it forward 30 seconds. If it works, I'll see you then, and then I'm jumping to the end of the show. All right. Now, setting it.
Was that a
What
Coke
the
can?
fuck? Is he all right? What the fuck just
That's
happened
not
there?
real. That look counterfeit? I don't
Was
think
that
that's
supposed
real.
to go down that way? Is that what he intended to do?
Is that a Temu time? Oh
What
no.
the fuck?
Oh no.
Gentle reminder, please do not talk during the intro. And if Jake wakes
quiet,
up or
please quiet. I'm trying to watch the show.
if Jake comes back to the future or back from the future, I hope he doesn't talk during the intro, because that would be rude.
That would be extremely rude.
Especially because Andrew is trying to watch the
I'm
intro.
trying to watch this. I don't.
So
So
don't
who's
want
the one on the left?
Anyway, quiet down. It's almost over. So, hey, what's going on, Jake?
What's
the
this?
fuck,
What's
man? Are you okay?
What?
Yeah.
So, all the movies, all the books,
Was that a Coke can?
and this guy thinks time travel works. Yeah, was that a Diet Coke?
I don't know. For some reason I keep thinking about the floor.
You know, in the words of wisdom of our former president, I've never seen a thin person drink Diet Coke.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, did he say that? Of course he said it. I do want to see the schematics for that time travel hat, and where you're Diet Coke can, right?
It did need some assembly. That might have been on me.
That's awesome.
Putting it together weird.
Well, I
Maybe
hope you
next
feel
time.
better throughout the show. Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, see,
You go back in time and fix it.
That's probably what happened.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. So you had it right one time.
So you're going to fix it in the future, and then
I'm sure I'll remember in the future to come back and put my mind brain back inside my body.
Okay.
So how do we know that you're not the future version?
Oh, we don't. Well, I'm definitely the future version to the guy that did all that other stuff.
Oh.
Regardless.
Oh. That makes me think of a question that occurred to me the other day. It's kind of off the wall. So this is where I like to, float these. And I feel like we've set the mood.
Yeah, I'm just floating it, trying to see, what you guys are hip to.
Okay. What if, yeah, exactly. I'm going to see if you're hip to this. What if there's no such thing as the dark? And it's just like when you close your eyes and you don't see anything, or like you're in what we call pitch black dark. What if that's not real? Like, it's just our eyes don't see what's there.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Like, it's actually different than what we call light, but just not what we perceive as darkness.
That's correct.
There's no such thing as darkness.
No, I wholly agree with that. It's just the standard state of being and photons bouncing around. Yeah.
What if darkness is a doorway to another universe or realm or a source of cosmic travel? I mean, we're always so quick to turn the lights back on. What if we just... I'm thinking of like deprivation tanks and whatnot.
Well, we've only had lights for like 100 years. So
before that, everybody was just feeling around.
That's That's right. We
Um,
invented fire about 120 years ago.
I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
agreed with me though. That's cool. So what do you?
No, absolutely not. That's nonsense, and you know.
You guys did some good debate coverage last night, Andrew. I
You
didn't
didn't
know you
even
were
know.
live.
Yeah. What the fuck are you showing this? Like, oh yeah, it was a great stream you did.
He was in my
What
chat.
I just found out about like 5 minutes ago.
I'm
but
assuming it was as good as ever. Okay.
it
What?
might have been my best stream.
It's pretty
You're
good.
just rubbing it in now. I think that people are actually giving me science in the chat. Thank you. I was really just trying to annoy the co-host. I really appreciate the science.
Not gonna give me that easy.
This is pretty cool.
There are wavelengths of light we can't see at the letter hack. Darkness can only be described as a relative absence of light. Well done, Latino Mufune.
It's good.
I like that.
When I was a kid, I used to say that my favorite color was X-ray.
Nice.
Ooh, that's cool. That's a
It
rad
still
kid
is,
thing to say.
by the way. But it's just less cool now that I'm an adult. Now I seem like a fucking loser when I say that.
Wait. Let me be the barista and you be you. Oh, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color, it's actually purple.
Oh, well then, neat.
Nah, just kidding. It's X-ray.
Fuck you.
That's right. I'm afraid I'm not interested, so please move along.
Okay.
I'd like another barista, please. Baristo, possibly.
Oh, you're still in the skit. My bad. I was gonna move along.
Oh, are you interrupting me while I'm at my table here? Are you the baristo?
Never mind.
Did
this
I
is just
request?
the
Is
show
there a
now.
baristo? Why is there a
Just barista.
barista if there's not a baristo?
I got a coffee for Matt Strackman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's how they do it.
We only accept coffee out of vases here.
Oh,
My
well,
mug says, "Good morning, you fucking badass."
I like that.
They didn't intend on anyone drinking coffee out of that mug at 10:08 p.m. I guess, right? A little
Bingo.
oversight on their part.
It's always morning somewhere, Andrew.
You got a glass mug there.
Always morning somewhere. I'm gonna start saying
Very
that.
nice.
I'll TM letter hack in parentheses for sure, but that's good.
So like, as I was saying, you guys had coverage, but we do want to do a recap. We all want
Did
to
you
talk
have
about it
coverage,
together.
Letterhack?
No.
Mm.
No.
Yeah,
I don't go on
That's
when
interesting.
everybody's on. I don't
Well, me
suffer
neither.
those
I only
views.
go on when I feel like it. If everyone else wants to go on, that's their problem.
So-
If they want to compete,
The majority of report was
dying to
on
talk
2
about this.
channels. But I thought maybe
channels.
first, speaking of majority report, we could look at the new drama.
there's new
Oh, yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When are we going to get these fucking cocksuckers on the show so we can just hash this fucking
I don't
shit out
know.
with this
Keep talking
drama?
like that. Probably sooner than later.
I hope so.
Do you want to see the video? Should I play this? It's not long.
I would
Yeah.
rather hear the video. I would,
actually
I
over
would
a
not like
minute.
to see it if
Oh,
possible.
okay. Close
Audio
your
only.
eyes. Close your eyes and listen.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm going to
very
read
closely.
one IM letter hack writes in, John, unlike Sam and Emma, I would never put you in a time crunch. You don't need to keep leading MR on. It's time to move forward without them.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, John, I assume you're going to be on the letter hack tonight.
No, I'm not going to be on
Oh!
the show tonight, but
Okay.
but I will be
Wow.
in future weeks.
Wow. I guess. Okay. All right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
in future weeks I will be.
Well, I guess
So,
letter hack is busy. That's all right. Hey, he's got other things.
You know, we always have time for you. We even squeeze you in when
That's
we
right.
go
I mean,
long.
yeah. I mean, even though like we were clock running, I was like, priority is John. But I guess Letterhack doesn't feel that way. It's not a big deal. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I mean, because he gives me 2 hours.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a
maybe,
little
but I
bit-
mean, really, it's about frequency. Sometimes it's about quality
Yeah.
over quantity.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been calling to this. Yeah, I've been calling to this show for 10 years.
Right.
So,
I mean,
I
that's-
appreciate that.
That type of we all appreciate it.
That's
a
how we're
lot of
rich.
people appreciate you, but
We get that
Letter-
the honeymoon phase is over, but just show us some more.
I guess
respect. How
Letterhack
about that,
has
huh?
got, I guess, more important
Leave
things
us
to
some
do.
dignity.
That's all right. Okay.
Okay. Number 1, I did not IM this show.
Can I open my eyes?
Yes, I do not. Look, that IM was from someone called Letterhack. If the isn't there, that ain't the letter.
So let me get this
okay?
straight. This was a setup. Now,
I
if
think
that's
so.
true, okay, I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb. Okay, and I've got 4 of them. Last time I checked. False flag.
That's not what that means. But go. Oh, yes.
False
Okay.
flag. That was
I think
Sam
he just
Fader
made that up on the
himself.
spot.
Probably
Yeah.
wasn't even an IM. He probably
Right.
just wrote it down before the show in his shitty penmanship. You ever see that guy's handwriting?
Or, I mean, you want to talk about a cease and desist. Because somebody's using letter hack and IMing the majority report. That's kind of a problem.
That's
but
libel. When you really think about it, it's libel. And it transcends libel when it becomes a podcast, a radio show. Then it becomes slander.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest. If I would have thought to do that, I absolutely would have done that.
But fortunately for our
which means it probably was a crime.
You know, Jake, very forgetful. So
Jake and I had a gentleman's bet. I said, "Do you want to have a gentleman's bet that they throw shade at me today on Majority Report, even though John's not coming on my show because he will call in, he'll mention he's not coming on my, and they'll throw shade." And then Jake later thought I was trying to trick him into a bet, knowing I was going to IM the show because he thought that was me. So here's somebody who knows me, who knows about this. He was fooled by that. That's a little too clever. That's a little too clever.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was gigging the system.
I'm upset.
We're gonna skip over the whole pretty sure thing. Is that, and then we got sure enough over here. What is that? What are we doing here? What is this
being
the level?
rad?
Is this the level that this show is degenerated into?
What?
Yeah.
We're just drawing on our microphones. Like, look at me. I got tape and a marker. Because
this machine.
This is bullshit.
Kills fascists.
This is
Read
fucking.
the Discord.
I have Audio Technica. You know, can I do anything with that?
Yeah,
Huh?
throw it out.
Get an MV7. What are you waiting for?
What the fuck?
And
Anyway,
by the way,
actually,
I'm no longer banned in the Majority Report chat. Phone calls have been made. People have been spoken to. Texts have been exchanged. That's been corrected. So I don't know what kind of joke was being played there, or what kind of scam was being perpetrated, but
as your lawyer, I'm going to go in there and try to get you banned again. There's nothing better for you than
really, yeah, you want to be banned. You really shouldn't have done that. That's a really bad idea.
I mean, I'm not really chatting a lot anyway, so it's okay.
As long as they don't see you post another message, they can't confirm that you've been unbanned.
See, that's part of why I fell for it so hard, because when he was talking about, because I didn't see in the YouTube chat anything, so I was like, oh, it's member chat. So he started an account over there to get messages in. Obviously not the letter hack style, I guess. I wouldn't say obviously. Why don't you climb all the way down off my dick on this one? I didn't. It wasn't obvious, but in retrospect, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm banned, but I totally earned it.
Well, as long as you earned it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I have a respect for that. Hey,
has anyone heard from LT9K?
No.
No.
His area didn't hit, is it?
Do I have his phone number? I don't think so.
Kind of concerned about New Orleans. Is it bad enough that we should genuinely be concerned?
Has anyone seen Looney Tunes 9000 in a chat today?
Nope.
It's just, I'm seeing that it's just, well, obviously there's a history of floods not being good in that area, but just a flash flood warning, not actually that there has been a flood.
Look at this. Jeez. From a member.
From a moderator.
A year.
A moderator.
Oh, they're all moderators.
Burn.
Well, I mean, we can't have this kind of stuff here. This is a moderator. They're probably Donald James. I mean, first of all, who can really trust this guy? But second of all, do you really? Exactly. I mean, do you really trust that this guy is going to correctly identify trolls, and be able to upkeep the letter hack dignity of the chat room? Oh.
You can jump scare Andrea with herself.
What the fuck?
They're
That's called me waking up in the morning?
Okay, yeah, they might be without power. All right, let's just cross our fingers and hope they show up. Otherwise, I'll send them a note on Discord. And you know,
You got to make Democracy Meow a moderator in your chat.
That's clever. Because a cat goes meow, you see.
Right.
Oh,
just like the Haitians would know. Are you a Haitian?
Oh, God. Okay, so
Jake.
I found a TikTok that summed up some of the crazier moments.
Oh, is this
you could just kind of watch that if you wanted to.
Oh,
AARP member scrolls TikTok section of the show. Is that where we're on?
Not
what? First of all, shots out of nowhere. Second of all,
well, this has been like a trend, or no, it was Instagram last time.
I'm so down for it. Can we just get general thoughts from, because I know we all did see it.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I did not.
Since I wasn't live, can I go first?
Yes.
Yeah.
The convicted rapist, felon, election-denying, insurrectionist, racist, Nazi, authoritarian, whose psychotic behavior was on full display for literally 1.5 hours, was talking about immigrants eating the dogs and cats of our people. He said babies are being executed after they are born. He said immigrants in prison are being given free sex changes. And he is still the Republican candidate today for president of the United States, and he still has half the vote of the country.
There can be no Republican Party.
Last part.
That's all I'm thinking about.
There can be no honor in America until there is no more Republican Party.
I can't believe they let this guy fucking talk. I can't believe they were fact checking him. Okay, but like, why is this happening? Why is anyone like, well, he's the candidate, we got to put him up there, see what he has to say? Maybe they were like beforehand on CNN, they were saying Trump has an equally good chance of having the same map as blah blah, and I'm like, there's no this is crazy. You're talking about him like he's a standard candidate. You're talking about him like he's just the other guy. He's fucking not. The guy is a lunatic, like in the worst way.
I don't agree.
Don't agree with what?
With the idea that you shouldn't have him on. He is the candidate. But when you have him on, you have to address reality. You can't run cover for any candidate. And that's what they did. This is the first debate I've ever seen Trump in where he was treated the way you are supposed to be treated.
Except that they kept giving him the last word. He would ramble on, they'd say, turn on his mic, and then they would cut it, and then they would go on to the next thing. And it was like they were just trying to like move on from him. But this guy does more harm than good. This guy is not okay. You cannot let this stuff go out over the airwaves the way they did it. It's insane.
I don't think they did. I mean, they didn't.
He said all that crazy shit.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, you do have to allow them to say crazy stuff if they say and believe crazy stuff in their rallies. The difference being you don't endorse it. You don't say this is okay. You don't let facts, you don't let lies go unchecked so that people think what he said was true.
What would you do?
You make it clear this guy just lied to it. What would I do? Exactly what they did.
No, what would you do if there were 2 Trumps up there?
2 Trumps up there, I would just be, I mean, again, exactly what they did. It's just they'd be fact checking everything they said. Like, all right, well, we did the work. We talked to the what was it, city planner there. There was no such thing. Okay,
this is extreme, but I would shut it down and not do these fucking televised debates. All Kamala Harris was trying to do was win over swing voters. Great. Okay, I get it. Fine. And she dragged his ass across, and there's a lot. I took a lot of notes where I was like, I love this. I love this. I love this. This was great. But do we need this? Do we need these debates?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think we needed that debate last night?
They serve a purpose. First of all, there's
no other way we could be doing this to convince people who to vote for. We got to do it.
There are other ways, but I think debates are a great thing. I think just fundamentally, when you have a disagreement about how to run something as big as a country, a debate is the format to do it. Now, I know that we have people who have turned this into a clown show. That doesn't mean that it's a bad concept. It means we are a disgraceful generation of
Was this a debate?
beings.
Was this like a debate, or were they just like, what do you think about this? Okay. What do you think about this?
I agree with Letterhack. It's
give them one
really
fucking
not
topic
much.
and let them rip. Give them one topic and let them go.
If they just did 90 minutes on immigration or something, like that would be a debate.
That
because for the
now
last 40 years, Republicans have been. I would like to actually see more debates. I'd like to see like a series of 30 where they go in detail on issues.
Yeah, because that last night was like the ratings. Fuck it. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I do think they should all be like mandatorily public. Like government sets up cameras. Yes, we could have news people be the moderators, but
can I just say also like the setup of a debate, right? Like these are just two people just going on there. They're just going to discuss these ideas or whatever, right? Like, but both sides, like, really, it's just, it's the advertisements. They're trying to get the sound clip, like Donald Trump saying, I'm involved with the Taliban. Right. That's going to be in like every Democratic ad from now until the end of time. He's involved.
I have a concept for healthcare.
Like that's really all it is. And with that in mind, Kamala understood that, at least her team did, and she nailed that shit, man. She set him up so many different times.
He took the
like just the reaction gifs, like every face she made is a reaction gif. It's actually like as far as like mastering the concept of the modern debate, because I don't think Trump ever mastered the concept. He just used brute force. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just steamrolling and everyone else is fucking stupid, right? But I think Kamala 100%. Actually mastered the strategy of the modern TV sitcom debate, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Especially when you factor on that, like, she is going up against a demented old incontinent buffoon. So
you have to think, like I was thinking a lot about the prep because they were like, oh, Nikki Haley or Tulsi Gabbard.
You always get them confused.
I know. That's because they're both used in that way that it's like, this is our girl version. This is our female. So that's why.
Yeah.
So you just, all the women are the same.
But here's a super chat. Actual Cloud 499. I believe this is Jake's.
We need them if they go well for our candidate. I agree
very much in Actual Cloud.
Otherwise, no. I mean that. That's funny. But like, I think that the media and we kind of were like, uh-oh, Tulsi Gabbard doing debate prep because she was good against blah, blah. Meanwhile, we all know Trump is not going to take anyone's fucking advice. He's going to do whatever he wants. Tulsi Gabbard is probably like, no, I was up there for like 2 seconds and the guy is a buffoon. I can't. They're making it sound like this is going to be a setup for me now. I'm going to look up. But like, the absolute meaningless prep on he was in the first debate. It's so obvious that the Harris people watched that and were like, okay, listen, this is where he got upset, this is where he deviated, this is how we get under. So obvious they watched that. Meanwhile, they don't see Trump learned nothing from that debate. He didn't improve at all. He didn't look at that debate and go, okay, here's how Biden was bad. I definitely don't want to do that. Here's what I could have done better. That guy didn't do any prep, right? He may have had some prepared statements or something, but otherwise, I mean, that was just like, or did they just wreck him? So Harris just wrecked him that quickly and he just was off the rails?
I think, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say it was pretty brutal, but yeah, go.
It was brutal. I think he did a ton of prep, and I think we could hear the prep he did because he would literally say I believe he was saying the notes they gave him out loud. And
then he would riff on it afterward and undo the whole thing, like with the racism thing or whatever. He was like, whatever she wants is okay with me, but she did say she was black, and then like you can't do both.
But yes, and also to Matt's point, I think he would remember that belatedly in a rant, and he would try. Like you can see these moments where he tries to go back to the stuff they told him to do.
You're right.
But to Matt's point, very clearly, what would happen? I think I'm just speculating. Kamala would get under his skin, and he would forget everything they prepped him for. However many hours of practice they did, gonzo. He would go on an embarrassing
crowd sizes
rant.
got mentioned.
Oh yeah,
yes.
And 81 million people fired you. You could just when she said people get bored and walk out of your rallies, you could see the look on his face. That's the equivalent of someone shitting themselves.
It's brutal. I mean,
like
it probably
something
did
happened
because of the diapers.
Yeah, he was
and
just like
drug use.
he just looked fucked up. That was good.
That was good. Old.
Now, she did very well. Very well.
And I just want to say, I don't think we're necessarily Kamala fans here, just so all the people in there.
Progressives have their work cut out for them if she wins. Don't get me wrong. You
gotta call it when it happens, and that was goddamn good, man.
She could have been wrecked by him. She could have been unnerved by him. Anything could have happened. And she just became more and more confident as it went on, because it's not just a woman, it's not just a black woman, it's anybody, but it was also that.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, like, in his mind, these are the things that trigger him, and the second you start talking about that, I mean, I don't know if you saw the follow-up with Stephen Miller.
Is that the name of his new show? The Follow-Up with Stephen?
No, there was he was being interviewed. I think he was there at the debate. Right. He was being interviewed and he lost it.
I didn't see this.
I gotta see that. That's good.
I kind of want to watch it. Yeah.
It's like 4.5 minutes.
Oh, I'm down. That's nothing. I'm down. I do want to toss this out here as a general thought on the debate, because I've been coming across a lot of similar sentiments. The amount of people who don't follow politics at all is shrinking.
Right.
Which means there's a lot of people who, for the first time, are having a very, to us, familiar feeling, which is rolling our eyes at the messaging. But I do want to say, we all know how we feel about Vice President Harris, but viewing this from the perspective of she is trying to win over people that somehow haven't decided already.
They've made it
or don't vote at all.
Point in life, and they don't know.
They might not vote at all.
But so it's that slice of people that might not vote at all, don't know anything about this stuff, but did decide to watch the debate. Perfect. She explained to them, just like a prosecutor does, here's what's wrong with the guy. He's easily manipulated. He's emotional. Yada, yada, yada. Now watch me manipulate him. Your crowd sizes are small. Crowd size.
They're eating dogs.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Beautiful job.
Insane.
When he
also
I lost it.
Super racist. I know we've all said it a bunch of times. I'll say it again.
It is. You need, like, honestly, we need a new word. Racist is not enough. I mean, like, racist doesn't even scratch the fucking.
I mean, to me, Trump covers it. Just the word Trump kind of covers it, I think. Or Republican. He's so Republican.
Like, leaned into the mic and screamed. Like, he raised his voice several decibels. He was like, "They're eating dog." Like, he started screaming, and then Kamala started laughing her ass off, man, which is insane.
Like, it was great. Bringing up Dick Cheney is something that we would rather she didn't do.
Don't bring up the dick.
But I don't think it hurts her. Do you know what I mean? Because we're voting for Harris Walz anyway. So I think that's the kind of stuff they do in order to be like, I don't know where, like, what was it like? They predicted or somehow estimated 2/3 of the country were watching last night or something crazy like beforehand.
God, I hope so.
I doubt that, but
it was the most watched debate ever. presidential
Oh,
debate.
that's lovely.
And that means that people were either like, this ought to be good, or they were like, I'm sick of this shit. It's not Biden. I'm hopeful. Let me watch.
But
And
even
maybe they're a
then,
Republican, maybe they're Republican light, maybe they vote Democrat, register Republican, and they haven't voted in a while. I don't know. But there's all manner of people out there who need to be convinced. And I think that did it.
but also
Yeah.
like beyond just watching the debate, just the memes of they're eating dogs. Like that's all over the
Yeah.
place. I have
I mean,
concepts of a plan. It's all over the place. Like,
Concepts.
Does
like,
it make any difference to
does it
his
make
base?
well
That's
I don't think it
freaks
makes
me out.
difference
Yeah.
to the debate. Actually, you know,
His
I'm gonna be
base.
honest with you. I think it does. I actually think it does make a
I do
difference to
think
the
so.
base.
Think they're
Because I think
over
they're
it?
gonna look at it and well, I don't know if they're over it necessarily, but they're just gonna look at it and they're gonna feel embarrassment. You know, like this is reality, you know, striking like it's a possible moment where reality could come crashing down where it's like, I've been doing this for the last like 10 years of my life. Like this is what this
Yeah.
is 10 years of my life or whatever how long it's been has culminated in they're eating dogs. Like,
Or just like, because my right-wing neighbor used to, when Trump was president, my right-wing neighbor used to always say, he's going to do healthcare. And I'm like, he's not going to do healthcare. He's not going to do infrastructure. He doesn't have a plan. Why haven't they rolled it out? He keeps saying this is infrastructure week. We got a big, beautiful healthcare package coming. What? Tell us, pick any one of the ones that are in existence,
It's
slap
always
Trump
a
on it.
secret.
Right. And
It's
so
always,
now
oh,
it's
it's
been,
coming around
but
the
now
corner.
it's been 8 fucking years. So like, you have to be feeling like, I guess he doesn't. And then he literally says, we have a concept of, yeah, everyone has a concept for healthcare. It's called
oh,
healthcare,
Jesus.
you moron. So
I
like,
mean, but also, can we say like that is
gotta
the
be
most
frustrating.
relatable moment ever said by any presidential candidate of all time? Like, let's just be
Yeah.
honest, you know, to all the ADHD enjoyers out there, like we all have concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a
Like,
plan.
I mean, Jesus Christ!
yeah.
Oh man, I have concepts of a plan, dude. I can't.
I literally, some of that stuff made me leap out of my chair. And it reminded me of watching The Office when it got so awkward. Even though Trump is, I honestly
God's
feel
tots.
the devil. It was so embarrassing. Like the second hand, I was like, oh god.
Jeez. Oh,
He was a mess. That was a wreck. And they right away invited him to do a second debate, and I'm dying to see if he does it.
he's not doing
No, he's already chickening out.
One thing I loved about it was no audience, no applause. I hate when they do that. That is the worst possible thing you could do, is pack people in there who are going to clap during a debate. It's not a debate anymore. So just to be straight, Jake, I totally agree with you. They need debates. This is politics, but this doesn't feel debate to me.
Yeah,
This
it's
feels
become way
too
too
much
much of a
like
production.
we all have memorized these statements and we're just going to talk about stuff, and then people can criticize this for, like, the New York Times was like, Harris wasn't perfect, but she seems to have won. And we're like, motherfucker, anybody else would be like, this person won 2 seconds after the debate was over. And they're like, she seems to have won. It's like, what do you mean she seems to have won? She whooped his ass. There's no look. There's no points on his side of the scoreboard. Like at all. Like he didn't seem to lose. He lost.
Yeah, let me just establish our cred here. When Biden debated him, I don't think any of us had any illusions. Like, we were all crystal clear. Biden lost hard because he was nonsensical.
Oh, that was
that guy of all.
This was that for Trump. He lost that badly.
They were going back and forth about golf at one point.
Oh, that was the best part. That was when I was starting to like
forget it.
Oh man, I was waking up. The caffeine was kicking in there at that point. They were arguing, 2 old men yelling about their golf fucking scores, man. Like that's TV.
He was trying to bait her last night, and it didn't work.
When
she didn't
he was like, "I'm talking." Is that familiar?
Yeah. Your dad's a Marxist. Like, she's like, okay.
Oh God.
My
By
dad's
the way,
not
if we're gonna
president.
play the "What's Our Dad," let me just make this comparison.
Right.
Harris's dad was a Marxist, and Harris doesn't follow in her dad's footsteps.
Like,
which is
obviously.
a shame.
Right, yeah.
The damn shame.
Trump's dad was a Klansman, and he does follow in his daddy's footsteps.
Yeah, and
I just
bringing up Charlottesville.
Holy.
I'm
glad we're going back to some of the past stuff he's done.
Don't let them forget anything. General saying he was a disgrace.
This era of covering up a scandal with another scandal, that's no good. We can't have that. That's just called corruption.
He was like defending the Central Park 5 thing.
Yes.
Too. Oh,
yes. And he did say that he said, and there's still people that think they did it. I want to be crystal clear, though, because if there's anybody who's even remotely considering voting for Trump in the audience, you need to hear this, and you need to hear it with both your ears fully open.
It's called a lobotomy.
Nothing matters.
No.
Nothing matters other than January 6th. Either Trump lost the election, in which case he ought to go to prison, or Biden lost the election, in which case he ought to go to prison. And the correct place to figure that all out is either a courtroom or a congressional committee, because people are under oath when they speak there. We have a congressional committee you can look at. January 6th report. It is free. If you seriously are considering voting for Trump after I just told you with my mouth that the guy tried a coup, you have an obligation to read that report. Just read the summary, but go read it.
I agree.
Thank you for letting me soapbox that.
Yeah. So, hey, what do you guys want to watch? Either the Trump summary I found, which is kind of like it's the highlights, or that Stephen Miller video.
I'll watch them both. I'll watch it all. I'll this is way better than conventional pornography for me.
You got Stephen Miller.
Love this.
Looking extra bald today. Wonderful.
All right.
Oh, good.
Let's do if anybody ever needed a Sharpie. Here, hold on.
I have a question, by the way.
No offense against bald people. That's total. I would like to be bald. I'm just saying,
this
guy tried to fake it on the news one day, and it was obvious.
But anyway, is there any way? Like, I'm just curious, out of ultimate curiosity, if there are Trump supporters watching the show, would any of y'all want to ever do at any point between now and the election, Trump supporter call in?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Oh, to this show?
Want to do this so bad.
I mean, if you don't want to do it here, we can do it somewhere else. But I mean, I love doing Trump supporter call in. I've done it usually, I
can't get them to call in. Not a one. I've done like 3 now where I even specifically did a whole stream just inviting one guy on. Can't get any to come on.
Really hard to get these
I'd
guys.
love to.
Okay, let's watch. Let's start with the Trump highlights. Check this. This is Matt. This is it feels like AI.
In Springfield, eating the dogs, the people who came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. She said nobody
could
would
be
ever
triggering
think of.
everyone.
Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
Oh,
this is a radical left liberal. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
You brought it up.
Those were your words. So
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black. And that's okay. Either one was okay with me.
And I brought it up
to her.
I'm glad it's okay, Donald. I'm glad that that's
you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that.
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge it at all. I said that sarcastically. You know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President
Let's
Trump,
turn back
we
to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy,
She
please.
has a plan to defund the police. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move on
to
to
not
other
allow.
issues.
So that earlier stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to point out the logical inconsistencies. So what was that first thing he was talking about?
Cats and dogs.
Oh yeah. So like
they're eating the dogs.
Imagine for a moment that Haitian people are exactly what you think they are, right? And you know you're evil. Obviously, you're planning on voting for Trump. Where your soul? I should be nicer. Let me try this again. This is why people don't call into my show. And
you have an IQ below 6.
Wait, roll that back. You're planning on voting for Trump. You have some misconceptions about people. Even in that scenario where Haitians just can't wait to eat dogs and cats for some reason, why are they stealing people's dogs? You know, why that extra step? Why are they not out in the street with, I don't know, a hunting cap or whatever, getting a traditional stray dog? Like the logic of what this guy is pitching is so absurd that I truly don't think, Trump supporters, that you actually believe this. I think I'm going to do you the credit of assuming you're bright enough not to believe that. Then you have to ask the question, why is he lying to you?
I don't think the Proud Boys and the Nazis believe that. I think they're like, this guy's wild. Anyway, the racism.
I just think
we're
they
here
think
for
it's funny and mean. Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's mean. It's a mean girl thing we can say about Haitians.
They got to be like, I can't believe this works, but fucking ride it out. And here we are. He's running for president again. He's the nominee. They must be like, okay. There's no way one of us would ever be one of us literal Nazis could never do what this absurd imbecile is doing. Like,
if the Republican Party does not cease to be after this, then it's a victory for them.
Yeah.
Because they ran such a candidate and didn't experience consequences. There can't just be consequences for Trump. The people that put Trump there need to experience consequences. That means the entire Republican Party, goodbye. We see what you are now.
Are we going to put the politicians in jail?
No, but we the people need to deal with it, and that simply happens by no longer supporting them as a party. If your cousin tells you, I'm Republican because I'm fiscally conservative, fuck you, cousin. Sit down right there in that chair. You need to watch this clip of the presidential nominee being a racist in a presidential debate. And you need to understand that if you are supporting that party, you are supporting a party that supports that. Are you going to look? I'm going to sit down a black person right here, right next to you. Look him in the eyes and explain to him why you're able to support that. You simply cannot.
I do think there's more nourishment from a house cat than a stray cat. I'm just saying. But anyway, and there's an argument for that. I'm just being contrary.
I'm going to counteract and say, right. Do you know what's in cheap pet food? You know?
Well, the right neighborhood. Anyway,
I think we found the topic.
No, they're in Ohio, so they have not found the right neighborhood if they're in Ohio. Let's just put it.
Are you getting a better meal out of a free-range cat or out of a farm-raised cat?
They live in the sewer in Greenwood. Hey, I'm just saying, this is the thing.
You have sewer cats?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
We're at the gas station. They just pop up out of the sewer, run back in there. There's millions. So here. This is just what I'm talking about with the politicians just being like, do you hear yourself? JD Vance, I think he was on Fox News talking about Taylor Swift. And he goes, I don't really think the American people are interested in a disaffected or is that the word? A billionaire who's out of touch with the people and is just riding on celebrity or something like that. And I was like, are you listening to your fucking self? That's exactly what your boy is.
That's the whole thing.
Okay. Do you want to watch Stephen Miller 4.5?
Yes.
Meltdown?
Do I want to watch Stephen Miller? Yes, put it on.
Now, in case anybody's wondering who Stephen Miller is, he worked in the Trump administration and he is an admitted white supremacist. He was saying, why is it white nationalist? Why is it bad to want a nation? He asked. of your own people, he says, as in other people aren't allowed.
He had Trump's ear the whole time too.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, more than anybody else. Okay, because all those people quit on Trump, you know. Stephen Miller was there the whole time. It's Bannon's guy. Okay, let's bring this up. Never forget Stephen Miller. That's Steve Bannon's choice.
Stunning.
Right. Majority of Report retweeted this, so forgive me for putting some Majority of Report stuff up
Just
here.
full screen it.
We'll forgive it this time.
Will this work?
Yeah, there we go.
All right, here we go.
Look at this guy. He is looking extra bald. You got a little bit of sheen there.
All these criminal migrants that have been flooded in the country are going to be the first to get thrown out of here. I mean, you've seen case after case, these heartbreaking tragedies. Those ones are going to get found and deported.
Watch the red
Look at
microphone.
this Venezuelan gang. You have a Venezuelan gang that is taking over entire apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado.
That's a lie.
Responsible, by the way, for some of the most heinous crimes that have happened all over the United States. The crime rate in Venezuela is down, I believe, a little bit over 60% over the last several years.
Are you trusting the official figures from the Venezuelan dictatorship?
Let's put it this way. If
That's a
you're
good one.
a
That's
dictator
funny.
of
That's
a
funny.
poor country with a high
That's good.
crime rate, wouldn't you send your criminals to our open border?
That wasn't my question. Are you
But
trusting the
my-
figures of the dictatorships? Those are Maduro numbers.
This is good. This is good.
I am believing that it is in the interest of a criminal dictator to let his criminals out of their jails and come to our
Do
country.
you have numbers, real numbers, not
I have
dictatorship
numbers.
numbers?
The Venezuelan gangs that have you've seen the CCTV
He's
footage.
trying
I
so
have a
hard
question.
not to say
Who
a
do you
slur
think?
right
Answer
now.
me
My
this.
family is
Oh,
from
yeah.
Venezuela. I know very well the situation of Caracas and many other
Right, and
cities.
tell me, who were the people with the high-powered rifles in the hallway of that apartment building? Who were they?
They were gangsters from Venezuela.
Right. No American community.
But I was asking to you about figures, numbers,
What I'm saying
facts.
to you is the facts are the dead bodies. The facts are
You said that Caracas has a
facts are-
lowest crime
the
rate
facts
than the
are-
USA.
the facts are the mutilated bodies. The facts are the people in the morgues that are dead.
I was asking you about Caracas and the numbers in Caracas.
process
Are you
this?
trusting the numbers of the dictatorship
I am
to state what
trusting
they
the
say?
fact that
Oh,
Kamala
shit.
Harris is
Why are you
letting
yelling?
illegal immigrants into this
He's
country
so
who are
mad.
raping and murdering children.
I had been very
Do you
respectful.
know-
Why are
do
you yelling?
Do you
The
know
accent. He
who
can't do it.
Jocelyn Ungary is?
He
Do you
can't
know who
stand
she
it.
is?
Do you know how
Tell me
many
who she is.
people
Who
is
is she?
experiencing
Who is
violence in Caracas?
Who is she? Who is Laken Riley?
Why are
Who
you
is
yelling
she?
again?
Because
I like
I'm
this
yelling
lady
because
in the background.
children are being raped and
I
murdered.
was just
by
asking for
illegal
figures,
immigrants.
and you have not
Children
replied
are
to me
being
about
raped
those
and
figures.
murdered. Do you know who Kayla
Do
Hamilton
you
is?
trust the numbers of
Do you know
Nicolas
her
Maduro?
story?
I'm asking
I
again.
trust a ruthless dictator will empty his prisons and send their criminals to our country.
So you trust his
The
numbers?
the most dangerous gang in Venezuela is
You
now
trust
occupying
Nicolas
apartment
Maduro?
buildings. I trust that he does not want his criminals to be.
So you believe in his numbers?
I believe he's sending his criminals to our country.
And do
Do
you
you
think
guys-
that the crime rate in
He's not
Venezuela
gonna-
have
Do you
decreased?
not believe
like,
the law
what?
enforcement
Yeah.
reports of Venezuelan gangs in this country?
I was asking for
Are
the Venezuelan
gangs-
government
are
figures,
Venezuelan
not
gangs
the
in this
figures
country
here.
Or not? Are Venezuelan gangs in this country or not? Yes or no?
What
Yes or
are
no?
the
Yes or
figures
no?
that you
Yes or
say
no?
to say
Yes
that
or no?
in Caracas
Yes or
the
no?
number is
Are
lower than in the
Venezuelan gangs-
USA?
are Venezuelan
Amazing.
gangs in this country or not?
So you don't have numbers.
He's so wound
Are
up.
Venezuela? You know who has numbers? The Department of Homeland Security. You can ask Mayorkas for numbers. You can ask the Director Ray for the numbers.
Sir,
I'm telling you.
You said
you think
that in
Nicolas
Venezuela
Maduro-
the crime rate is lower than the
because-
USA.
Yes, because the
What are
criminals
your
here
numbers? That's
now.
my question.
Because the criminals are here now.
Those are Maduro's
I
numbers.
can tell you
What are the
again.
numbers? Where are the numbers
Border
coming from?
Patrol agents are encountering
Maduro.
thousands
Trust
of gang
Maduro
members.
numbers.
I
Do you
trust
trust
the border
Maduro?
agents in our country, and
But
I
they are not
hope that
saying
you
that
have the
Caracas has a
fundamental-
lower crime rate.
Children are dead, and you are wasting my time.
No, I am not wasting
Children
your
are
time.
being raped.
I'm
Do
asking
you
for
have
facts
any
as a
remorse for
journalist.
do you have any remorse for the dead children? Do you care all about the dead children?
Absolutely.
Just answer the
Then that's
question.
what I want to leave you with is that Donald Trump
I
will
was
come
just
to
asking for
office.
figures.
Here's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm going to use
Donald
to
Trump
run
is
away
gonna be
on.
elected president, and the migrant gangs are going to be sent home.
Beads of
Children's
sweat.
lives will be saved. And you know who will benefit the most? Are the working class Hispanic communities that are besieged by gang violence.
So you don't have
Public
figures.
schools that are being overtaken by migrant gangs. You have MS-13 that is brutalizing children. You have Kayla Hamilton, who was a 20-year-old autistic girl who was raped and murdered, beaten to death. That will end. That will stop, and our children's lives will be saved. That is the most virtuous thing that can possibly be done. We are going to save the lives of our children. We will not let Kamala Harris condemn them to a life of misery, suffering, and death. Thank you.
I'm not replying my question.
Oh,
dude, that was Donald Trump's debate prepper right there. Okay, we got one of Jake's trolls in my chat.
No,
Which one?
wait. Is he the fella that said Anton Daniels?
Yeah.
If that's a guy that's willing to debate, he's got so many subscribers.
William D.
Let's go. If you are a
William
Trump
D.
supporter and you would like to come on the show, I am offering an open debate. If these guys don't want to do it, that's fine too. We'll do it another time.
Tell you what, William D. Hold up.
He called me a liberal. I kind of draw the line there. I don't want to be triggered, but I told him we're not liberals, motherfucker, because we're not. So
you're very likely William D. Before you get banned from Letterhacks chat. First of all, you come over to WICD Wicked. That stands for what you can do. And it'll take you longer to get banned. But look, come to my show. I'm doing a show Thursday. I'm going to give you personally, William D. and Debbie somewhere in there. I'm going to give you both, William and Debbie, an open invitation to my show Friday. And the show is, if you come on? Want. Yes, and Andrea is welcome as well. Here's the show, though. You might want to reserve on this one, Andrea. I'm not coming to yell at you. I'm not coming to hoot and holler. This is all I want to talk about. January 6th. Am I wrong or are you wrong? Because if I'm wrong, don't let me walk around ignorant. All right? Don't let me walk around supporting somebody who apparently lied to me. But if it turns out and I'm willing to accept that that's a potential reality here, but I'd like you to do the same. I'd like you to also accept that maybe you got some bad information. We'll look at this together. We'll find out who has the wrong information and never watch those people ever again because they're liars. I invite you onto my show.
I think William D is too chicken shit to take you up on the offer. I think he's scared.
More like William D's nuts in your mouth.
I think he walked in
Trump supporting piece of shit. Go fuck your mother with
but
a
I think in your chat before, right? Has he not called you?
No, he hasn't. He has not been in my chat before.
He's in my chat saying your old pal Jake.
Sure, he didn't. I didn't come up with his algorithm.
That seems pretty chicken shit.
I don't think that's fair at all to call him chicken shit. He walked into the lion's den knowing what it was, knowing we're a bunch of lefties. And he's in his free time choosing to hear the other side's opinion. I think that's somebody with the
trolling a chat. I mean, that's not necessarily listening to the other side.
I think that's someone with the courage and the interest.
Let him cook
to actually make some progress here. Look, if we're wrong, he'll explain it to us. I'll come back and explain to you guys why we've been disastrously wrong.
The first comment was your old pal Jake thinks that I'm some kind of racist for voting for Trump. And I said, but William D, that's true. You are.
I do think that. Yes.
But it's not.
Let me take that back. I think that, but I want to be clear. I really want that not to be true. So I look forward to you explaining to me why that is not true. So I hope you're right. I hope you're not. I think you are. But I hope you're not.
Again, if anyone wants to come and do a show, if you're a Trump supporter, I will not be as nice as Jake, so you can have easy mode or regular normal mode.
And I'm not making that offer. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Letterhack's that's not even gonna happen.
Don't come in here with that shit.
That's the show right there. Andrea, if you want to do this Friday, that's the show.
There you go.
Yeah, people can pick easy mode or hard mode. I'm all sunshine and flowers. I'm the sweetheart. And if you want to get your ass kicked, if you're a bit of a masochist, you go against Andrea. And I'll even give you a bonus treat. I'll debate Andrea on anything in the end. And you can watch her just take me to apart.
I would enjoy a good old debate with Jake. What are we going to debate?
It almost doesn't matter what we pick. Matt can pick it.
No, you just come with a bunch of prepared topics for a variety of questions. That's the kind of debate we're going to do here. I'll just ask what you think. You say it, and we'll say that's a debate.
I like it also when we go off the cuff.
Yeah,
That's true.
I
don't need cuffs. I'll rip them off.
I'm into this. Oh, it's an open invitation, my friend. I hope you're there.
I get where you're going with this, Jake, but I do think that, you know,
I feel an obligation.
If you don't understand, if you watched last night's debate, it's just how I opened my remarks on the debate, laying out what Trump literally is, and then how that psychotic nature was on full display last night the entire time. He's such a little person. If you came away from that going, he's not racist, he's not crazy, he makes a lot of sense, you are either 100% full of it, or this is just my opinion, not worth it. There's no convincing you. Like, what more could be said?
If you like, it's really as simple as
what
this.
more
And I don't
evidence
wanna
do you need?
overrun Jake, but
go ahead.
I'm already speaking, so let's just get this done.
But I would love, Jake, I get that you want to be able to do the counter back and forth all in one. I totally get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you vote for Trump, you're just stupid. It's that simple. I mean, there's no, we can
I agree.
pretend, we can walk around the eggshells, Jake can come up with like a 500, paged tome on how that's not possibly true.
Yeah, get
how
your
there's
shit
like the
together.
1% of Trump supporters who aren't dumb as fuck. But let's be honest, man. Now we can argue, blah, blah, blah. If you vote for Harris, you're also stupid. We can have that argument, okay? That's a separate argument. If you're voting for Trump, you are dumb. You're a dumb motherfucker. You're stupid. And I'm not going to lie. I think like everyone in your family should be afraid of you. Like, I think that you're a bad person to be around. If you're a parent and you're voting for Trump, I don't think you should be allowed to raise kids. I genuinely, if you are a Trump supporter, you belong in jail. Now, does that mean I would advocate for policy to put you in jail? No, I don't. I don't believe in that. However, you belong in jail. Let's just be honest here. I'm not going to put you there. But motherfuckers, come on now. You are crazy. You are unsafe to be around. You're a threat to society. That's just how it is. If that offends you, my apologies. But I'm sorry. I don't respect
the bottom with these folks. I mean, who can be the dumbest and most crazy?
A race to the bottom of the ocean would be the only acceptable outcome.
I'm not running defense for Trump by any means here. I just want to try to understand, and I want to pitch a hypothetical person to you.
Sure.
So imagine you rarely watch politics and you tune in last night and you see Trump saying, they're eating your dogs and your cats. And you think, yeah, that's super racist. But the last time you tuned in was Joe Biden in the race. It was the last debate. You only watched the debates. And the last thing you remember from Joe Biden was the busing policies or him, saying some slur that he didn't realize was a slur. And in your eyes, you're just thinking, yeah, these folks are racist. But if that person had been like, I was leaning towards Biden, we would have said, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But with Trump, we're like, how can you do this? He's a racist. Now, here's the thing. Here's the sneaky thing. The policies are also racist, and that is the difference.
Yeah, and I'm not calling him out for being a racist. I'm calling him out for being a racist among all the other things. You cannot listen to Trump last night. They're eating cats and dogs. And go, that's really racist. No, that's fucking crazy. And if he knows it, that's worse than he's just crazy.
Yeah, and the racism, by the way, is enough in my opinion. And Joe Biden's racism was enough. His anti-Palestine-ness is enough. It's the problem with Trump, and the maddening thing for us, if you're a person on the other side here, the maddening thing, the reason we yell at you so often is any one thing that Trump does is enough to end anybody else's career. But the maddening thing is y'all seem to like it. The worse it is, the happier you are, the more you seem to support the dude. And that makes us angry because we have to treat you very politely. Well, your guy over here tries to get our friends and family killed, and it's not okay.
I mean,
we're
Trump
not going to keep putting up with it.
Wants to end democracy.
They're socially maladjusted, like emotionally underdeveloped, like toddlers. They're a bunch of little babies, and their entire politics is like, do you make the liberal mad? If though I vote for you and give me my money, I'm a Trump supporter, make America great again. That's all. Like, they're just fucking 5 years old. They're 3 even. They're like, they can't speak a goo goo gaga. Like, that's the, like, emotionally speaking.
And it's okay not to understand politics. I get it. If you're supporting Trump, look, let's real talk. If you're supporting Trump, you do not understand how any of this works. You don't. You just don't. Right. Because the things he says are nonsense. Not even that.
You don't know how, like, dishwashers work. You don't know how microwaves work. You don't know how to tie your own shoes, my man.
Let's keep it to the relevant thing.
If you are supporting Trump, shoes.
A politician, you do not understand how politics works. And I'm here to tell you that is okay. You're not obligated to know that. But you have a bunch of people who do understand how politics works telling you this dude is dangerous. And you ought to listen to them, including these two.
That's
even
like,
if it hurts to hear.
It's right. Like if you're going to a fucking, like, some sort of, like, product manufacturer of some kind. And, like, you know, like, let's say a restaurant. Let's just keep it simple. And like it's like, I don't know, like the sushi or whatever. It's like some raw fish. I don't know why you'd eat sushi. I mean, you got to be fucked up to even be there to begin with, right? I don't know what happened there, by the way. Like, imagine, like, you know, you just go into the fucking kitchen, right? You burst in and say, guys, I got this. I got this. Don't food poisoning, not a problem. I got this. I'll take over from here. Like that's them talking about politics. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What do you mean you got this? You don't know shit. You don't know fucking shit.
Like, and Jake, I hear your point about you don't pay attention to politics. You're just tuning into the debate. But Donald Trump has been unavoidable since I was a kid. And he has never been rational. He has never been normal. You cannot live in the world and not know this shit. It is on fucking display. He thrives on. That's why he's talking to that moderator last night. He goes, no, this is real. Maybe you could do a special on it. I'll come back. He thinks of everything in terms of television production.
You're right.
And like doing these, like, this is all spotlight, attention, headlines. That's it. People give him a binder every morning with his headlines, and he just looks at the headline. He's not reading shit. He is so wrapped up in himself, but it's everywhere all the time. And this was the most maddening thing for me when Obama was running for president and Trump wasn't. NPR would say Barack Obama says they're going to do this. Donald Trump says he's not really a citizen. And I'm like, what the fuck are you bringing Donald Trump's weird racist comments up like it's a legit thing? That's why we are where we are. That's why they're having this debate where they're like, Trump could win and he could end up with the right. If he does well tonight, it's like, you know, he's not going to do. Trump is not going to go on a debate stage and do well. He's going to own the other person.
And that's the thing is, like, they
make names for them.
I think they thought that Trump beat Biden, and that's not really the case. Like, they lost. It's just that Biden lost harder.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it.
Biden's was a more embarrassing loss.
Trump wasn't the winner. Oh my God.
They both fell down the stairs, and Biden hit the floor at a faster rate. That's all it was.
It was like a soccer game where nobody scored on the other team's goal, but the Biden team did an own goal. It was that bad.
Yeah,
so
and
at no point has Trump come out and been like, here's a coherent policy. Not even a policy that is, like, understandable, but I disagree with. At no point has he ever even offered a coherent policy, not once in 9 years.
He's got nothing.
A concept of a policy.
The wall isn't even a wall. Look at this. The lady with the Stephen Miller sign is walking behind. I just had to show that real quick.
What is going on with that bitch, man?
This is you gotta
get that.
You gotta think Miller. Well, she's letting the press know Stephen Miller's over here if you want to interview him.
Right.
And so you gotta be thinking he's like, could you just put the fucking sign down for a second?
Go stand somewhere else. Well, now they know I'm here.
I just got shredded.
I have a question, by the way. I'd like to ask the chat and my fellow co-hosts. Who like, if you were to ask like these various groups of people, 2 different groups of people, which knows less about American politics? Uncontacted tribes in Africa or Trump voters Who knows less
That's
about
a
American
great
politics?
question.
There is an answer to this, a factual, scientific answer to this. But I'll let it decide first.
Well, if you're in the chat, let me know what you think.
Meanwhile, I'll tell you, I got this bizarre. I love AARP. I love that app,
Oh,
the
right.
news app.
Big
Got this
fan,
weird email from them. They're trying to sell me a coffin today.
Fuck off! Seriously?
Yeah.
The one.
That's like the last thing I'll ever need.
You son of a bitch!
That's pretty.
I didn't even have it ready. I did. You snuck it. Oh.
God, that's good. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm actually angry.
That's not bad.
You earned it. You earned it. I got to admit.
But no, but for real, today my wife told me I need to smile more, and I said, I thought you wanted a serious relationship. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. What does? Okay, here we go. The tribes know more. They know how to communicate and survive. Huh.
Facts.
It is Africa no more because they know more. Yeah, but like
these are uncontacted tribes. Like they don't know anything about anything. They've been uncontacted. All right. This is specifically uncontacted. They don't even know what America is.
This is true though. Like Canada, for example. Some Canadians. Yeah. I told David Dole on air, I was like, dude, you know more about American politics than the majority of this country.
Oh, Jake, God, yes.
I have a question for Jake. Does Debbie Daly make content? Someone anti-corporatist in the chat is implying that the person in your chat, Debbie, is a YouTuber that makes videos that we could theoretically watch.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm jumping at YouTube right now.
Is this real?
I don't see Debbie in the chat.
Well, yeah, she came in here and was like, gas prices quadrupled under Comrade Kamala, and Donald Trump is actually America's hero, and she lies. Oh my God, my name's Debbie, and I'm dumb. That's what she came in here and did like 15 minutes ago. Or
more. Drop a link in our group Discord.
Yeah.
I do. I might not watch it tonight, but I would like to check it out.
I mean, I'm just curious. I would love to debate Debbie Daly, because that fucking stupid ass bitch was coming at me a couple weeks ago too. Now that I know she's a Trump supporter,
I was also saying like, William D is chicken shit just to get him to do it. I was trying to goad him into it, but I also do think he's too scared to do it.
I'm seeing a lot of yoga videos. I'm really hanging out.
The international wellness community is typically not cool.
Ooh. My favorite aspect of the wellness community is that they don't fucking give a shit about wellness. It's just like free market enterprise, like pyramid scheme bullshit. And I say this as a health freak.
So here's the thing that I took away from the debate last night.
Okay.
The slogan, "We're not going back," should be the Democratic Party slogan going forward.
Yeah.
That's a very progressive thing to say if you think about it.
That's pretty good.
I think "we're not going back, we're only going forward" is you can't argue with that. And for people who say we need to go back, then they should follow it up. They should say we need to go back. We're not going forward. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, we're not going back, we're only going forward is actually very difficult to argue with. Whoever came up with that either nailed it right off the bat or they really worked on that. But actually, did she just kind of say that off the cuff and they were like, oh yeah, we're going to make that?
Yeah, they started chanting it. I'm not sure if it was planned though. Like if there was people in the crowd where they're like, we're not going back. We're not. But I think it was natural. I think it just happened organically.
I like that.
Regardless, you're right. It's the perfect.
It's pretty solid.
Thing.
What was fucking Joe? We're gonna finish the job. Jesus.
Did you see they were asking him yesterday. He was like leaving the White House.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go do 9/11.
He said, yeah, I'm going to my daughter's
happy
birthday
9/11,
tomorrow. We're gonna do 9/11. And it was like, dude, that's not how you say it.
Yeah, now we know that Biden is a time traveler.
If he had said we're
Jake.
gonna do a 9/11, that would have been like, whoa, dude, where? Can we be ready for this? Not cool. Jake, did you say happy 9/11?
Yeah.
My aunt one time said to me,
Is today not? Oh, I just realized it's 9/11. Holy shit.
yeah,
Go
she
on.
said, she goes, my anniversary is on 9/11. No one will ever remember that again. And I was like, I will. Because I'll think, oh yeah, it's 9/11. The planes, the towers. Oh yeah, my aunt's anniversary.
Yep. Am I allowed to say some controversial stuff about 9/11?
Ooh. All right. Let's take a whack at it. What the hell? Let's see. You got my okay. What about?
Well, first of all,
the show here.
First of all,
the ability.
I support 9/11. I am pro 9/11. I think it's a good thing. Specifically,
the terrorist attack.
Yes.
No, you can't be for the
I'm pro
death of
9/11.
thousands of innocent people and
3,000
children.
murders?
You can't do that. The ripple effect of first responders and the way the government's
and the millions
been
that died in
rejecting.
Iraq.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I know you guys are really
that.
grilling me. I know that this is like, I know you're really
can't be
fucking with me.
pro
Wait
that.
a minute. Let me just. Did you think that you'd be like, I'm pro 9/11? Would it be
And
like?
we go, okay, we're listening. Go ahead.
No, I think you would listen. Okay, let me keep going. Okay.
All right.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Hear me out. All right. So I'm pro 9/11. Now you might be wondering why I'm pro 9/11.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You might be wondering that, right? Because it sounds crazy to go
You're
out
saying
there and
'cause
just
It
say,
does-
"Yo,
it
I'm pro
does, yeah.
9/11." Right? That
This
is
is
pretty
like-
crazy.
There's got to be an easy way to call the police.
Sure. That's maybe. All right. So here's the thing about 9/11 that really some would call it a silver lining, but like I would go a step further. Like a silver lining, bad thing happened. Here's one good takeaway. Right. That's not the case with 9/11, obviously, as we know, as I am pro 9/11. So it's like a
going great so far.
platinum lining of some kind.
See,
All right. on
Andrea
9/11.
doesn't fly on major airlines.
I
Like,
don't
we
fly.
have to
I
take
don't
our
fly,
fucking
just to be
shoes
clear.
off the. Oh my god.
I don't fly. I'm anti-flying. So the reason why I am pro 9/11 is just because, it was kind of cool to watch on TV. Like, let's be honest, like, it's pretty cool, man. Like when the planes went in there.
That was not cool.
I didn't love it.
If it were done in a movie, you would be like,
Well, okay,
I'm
for context,
really glad that's not real.
I was like about 5 years old when I saw it, so I thought it was a movie. Context, very important context.
I have all the video. I started recording on VHS tape right away. I have them all.
I saw it.
Did you really?
When I was 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was very
Hours,
cool.
like
I was in
3 days worth of VHS tapes.
4th hour algebra class, and funny enough, my teacher was like the first Muslim lady I had ever met.
Ooh.
And she started crying basically as
that's not
soon as it
good.
happened. And I did not get, like, I understood that it was sad, like really sad, but I didn't understand the deeper implications that she did in that moment. Her face to this day haunts me. Mrs. Clark, if you're out there, hope everything turned out okay, buddy.
So everyone in the chat and you guys were just kids at that point?
Yeah, I was 5. I
Jake,
was in
you're saying you
kindergarten.
were in high
Freshman.
school?
I was in
Yeah.
kindergarten.
Huh.
Just to be clear, by the way,
was at
I don't
work.
care about 9/11. I don't give a shit about it. So I'm not
do-
pro and I'm not
right.
anti, just to be clear. But I do like the fact that people listen to me saying I'm pro 9/11. Please clip that out of context if possible. and send it
For
to
sure
people.
I'm going to.
I would love that. And if you do, please credit me, put my name in the title. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Link to your channel, link to where they can email you for sure.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
I was in high school for the Challenger disaster.
Holy
I don't even know what that is.
No,
Shut
I
up.
was in the
What?
6th grade. The 6th grade. The space shuttle.
Oh,
Blew up.
Space Shuttle.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
in 6th grade for that.
It's actually quicker to explain than I thought it would be. Yeah, the space shuttle blew up. Fair enough.
Nothing really because of an O-ring, actually.
Yeah, it was at launch, and I've seen the footage. It's actually effed up, but when I was a kid at least, they showed that footage in school.
They wheeled a fucking TV into our classroom. We were all gonna watch it. And it blew up, and the teacher got up and turned it off real quick. It was like click.
Yeah, you just saw a crew of people die.
And then everyone started making up jokes after that. For like a year or so, there were jokes.
Yeah. Well,
about what? Like the TV turning off or the incident itself?
No, the incident. Yeah. I forget she was a teacher. Like a guest astronaut.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this.
I don't know why I forget her name now. But
Oh,
yeah, there were messed up jokes and stuff. Like what were her last words? Like, what does this button do? It's just fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Speaking, can we? I don't know if I've shared this story.
6th graders.
But when I was in 4th grade, I had a teacher, and she like fell in class and like broke her bones. And one of my favorite memories is that the entire class started laughing at her, and she started crying on the floor. That every time I think about it, it brings me such warmth and kindness. Why, you may ask? Because this teacher was a total bitch, and she personally bullied me. I got bullied by my teachers in school. So, and this bitch fell and she hurt herself. She never came back. She had to retire. And to this day, I have a memory of her crying, and it makes me happy. So, just thought I'd share that story. While we're talking about kids doing fucked up shit, you know.
Oh my god, I can't. I gotta say,
yeah,
I still want to ride high on the debate a little bit. But
yeah,
please,
anytime.
What do you got?
I just generally speaking, do you think of that narrow slice in my little bubble that I'm in? I think she won. Look what I titled this stream. I called it the Trump campaign eulogy. I think Kamala Harris basically won undecided voters. I think this is going to take it all the way to the vice presidential debate. I think J.D. Vance versus Tim Walz. Get the out of here.
When do we see poll results from
exactly?
Tonight?
That's my bubble. What do you guys think? Do you think that's so, or do you think you're dreaming, man?
Well, you have to understand undecided voters, right? Really dumb. Right? Like I want to say I'm
disinterested at the very least.
I agree with you that it should be like I cannot perceive a person that would watch that and go like, well, geez, I really don't know. Like I can't figure that one out. However,
still couldn't admit he lost in 2020.
And not only that, but he like tripled down. Like he had an opportunity to say like, oh well, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, actually, I won. Frankly, I won that election. But I hope you're right. I really do. But also undecided voters. I mean, like if we're gonna talk about any group of people, right, that are really unreliable.
I had a neighbor who was undecided in 2016.
Jesus
Christ. She said, Trump says he's going to fix China. I think if he can do that, he should be president. And I was like, what do you mean fix China? What does that mean? You know,
yeah,
that makes no fucking sense. And I was like, and actually he hasn't said that. Like, what are you taking that? What you're just making up dumb shit that the dumb shit didn't even say.
No, you don't understand. He's gonna fix
by 2020.
Wow, that's a record time.
by 2020, she had. I'm just saying this person had not budged at all. Didn't think any further on it. Didn't think anything about it at all.
What are the conditions for China being fixed? Because he didn't get there in 4 years.
But like she was still like, Trump is great. He's doing good. He could still do good. And I was like, you're not basing this on anything. Yeah. And then so when it comes to undecided voters being stupid, it's like there are some people out there who just, when they think of politics, they think they feel so involved just by like watching a clip or reading a headline. There's nothing more than that. And they go, you know what? I think, and this is where I stop people cold. I go, nobody cares what you think. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter in this case. What you think the president should do, how are you qualified to say what a president should or shouldn't do? Or like how there's
what are you trying to accomplish there?
We need to make this decision together. This is why we vote and the majority wins. We need to, you can't go into this as just me and what I think, because clearly, like in this case, it was not good enough. I think if he can fix China, he should be president. None of that makes any sense. And your major flaw is that you think you have it figured out. You don't. And you are saying, huh?
They don't think that. I could say with complete confidence, she did not think she has it figured out.
I knew this person for like 20 years. Like this person did.
Shit. Here we go.
I think
here's why.
Why?
She couldn't express what was wrong with China. She couldn't express what he was planning on doing about China because she didn't know what the problem was. In her mind, that was just something she could say to her smart friend to justify her position that sounded political. She knows she doesn't know.
I absolutely wasn't this guy back then, by the way.
Fair enough, but you've always been an intelligent.
I would just like to say that we did an independent investigation. We contacted the city manager, and they said that there's no reports that this lady even existed. So,
right. But this is the thing: is there are a lot of people out there who will lead off with these conversations. Start listening for it. People lead off with their personal opinion about it, and it's like you have to really. Look. You can have a personal opinion about anything, but opinions are like fucking assholes. Okay. That's a great expression. Like,
see, I disagree. I would go further. I would say you do not get to have an opinion. If your opinion is Trump is going to fix China, that's like my opinion is that grass is made out of linoleum. That's not an opinion. Okay. You don't get an opinion on something like Trump.
That's what I'm saying. This
like,
isn't
I'm sorry,
an
man.
opinion.
You don't get a fucking opinion on this horse shit.
It's
All right.
not an
If you think
opinion-based
this, if you think this, you're fucking stupid, and
It's
you
not-
need to be,
right.
you need to bury yourself alive.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
this shit is unfucking real. I cannot
Basically
believe
what
we're
I'm
dealing
saying.
with this. This is
That-
the median voter in this country. Give me a fucking break.
The-
You gonna fix China?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is not an opinion-based decision that we need to be making. We need to be talking about this in terms of the president, no matter who voted for them, works for everyone, including the people who didn't vote for them. That's how we need to be looking at this. Not just like, I am not electing a president who's going to do right by me as the voter or my fellow voters who also voted for them. I'm looking for a president that's going to do right by the country in terms of how the world is affected. That's what I think we need. And we never even have like the best candidate to choose from.
I have a really genuinely offensive world belief, but I will share it with you guys because again, if I'm wrong, I want to find out about it, and I don't mind making an ass of myself in pursuit of the truth.
I do that all the time. So.
I truly believe that anybody that's not a billionaire that votes for Republicans or considers themselves like a centrist lib Democrat doesn't actually know, like they consciously don't know what they're talking about when it comes to politics most of the time. I think, like, even because I was pretty much a centrist lib Democrat. I voted for Hillary in the primaries in 2016 because I was convinced that we had to be, that hurt, in Michigan. Because I was convinced that we had to beat Trump and only Hillary can do it. But if you would have asked me my political opinions, it would have been this generic rote memorization stuff. And I was conscious of the fact that I didn't really understand the threaded worldview of what I was saying. You know, I don't know what the expression is, but like I knew that what I was saying didn't really connect up into a coherent worldview. But I just assumed that everybody was like that. I just assumed that like nobody had any idea how anything worked. But I do notice that on the left, and particularly what most people would call the far left, that's where what people pretend politics is actually happening. Like, we debate constantly about like the fine details of policy, or
whether
like
or not 9/11 is good or bad.
I'm sorry, 9/11's good or bad.
Talk
No,
about like it's
like
Pepsi Coke challenge or something.
It'll be like discussions about UBI as a replacement for government programs, or whether it should not be and why. And should you give a free school lunch to everybody, including the rich kids? And in fact, why it's a good idea to give it to the rich kids too, and blah, blah, blah. But the point being, it's fact and policy based. And there are differing opinions, and it all comes from an educated place. And this is where it's offensive, I'm just of the belief that if you get right enough to where you're like in the centrist lib area and to the right of that, it's just people pretending. It's just people playing house, basically, but they're casting actual votes.
Now, I think that there's a certain subset of those people that do genuinely think they know what's going on. But I think 90+% probably have no fucking idea. But when you get to like the RFK type, like right-wing neo-fascist, like, did you see like this guy's like health plan or something, like bull fucking shit? Like, I think these guys, I think that style of person, I think they actually think that they know everything.
Oh, God help us.
Yeah, I really do think like we are pretty far off from. Hold on. I have to bring this up so we can talk about it, because I'm not sure. Even billionaires, as even for them, stability and happy and healthy workforce and demand are better for them. It's only short-sighted billionaires and indoctrinated social cons.
I disagree.
Holy good point.
But what's that last sentence? Flesh that out for me.
Indoctrinated social conservatives, as in people that are like in areas where they believe. I read that as people who are in areas where they're saying, watch out for those folks, they're the wrong shade.
Is this pro-billionaire statement though? Not that,
or like
whatever.
anti-gay stuff, or
well, I think that what
whatever the bigotry of the
they're saying is that like billionaires would benefit from just like it, like, so there's two minds of billionaires. There's one of the accelerationists, like the Elon Musk type people that are just, they want to hoard everything. And then there's the people that just want to secure their position at the top of the hierarchy. Right. And those people would benefit from what the chatter is saying, of just like locking in the gains. Like, you're the 19th richest person in the world. Let's stop with the instability. Let's put the guillotines away. Let's give workers something, because it's going to lock in the gains, Whereas Elon Musk and people of his kind of ilk, they have like that more, let's go for the gold. If we don't get it, we all blow up anyway type of mindset,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I knew I wasn't reading that right. And I basically just need to know if I make this guy a moderator or not. Welcome.
But yeah, I
welcome
do
to
think
the
that
gang.
there are billionaires that genuinely do want to see collapse, and they want to be on the other end of it at an even higher position on the social ladder. Because billionaires, it's not about money, it's not about power, it's not about wealth, it's about status in comparison to the peasants, right? So if a billionaire had like one tin cup to their name and that was it, that would be great, as long as everyone else was starving. As long as everyone else had no tin cups. It's all about the comparison. It's not actually about the size of the bank account.
They need they need peasants so they can have peasants to be better than. They need people to be suffering so that their majesty.
They just shouldn't exist. But
I agree.
This is, they'll never spend all that money. It's fucking ridiculous to have it. So this is the thing I was saying before, and thanks for, I love this. This is what we do, right? I don't get this. Let's talk about it. I get it. You're a mod. Welcome aboard. So we are a long way away from when people should be like, this is who I want to be president. That's where you start. This is who I want to be president. Let me see let me put some feelers out. Let me read. Let me listen. Let me watch the Majority Report, CNN. I don't care what it is. You're putting yourself out there. You're trying to absorb stuff. You're listening to opposing opinions or people who are critical, like David Sirota would be critical, but fair, right? You got to find these sources and you got to listen to them. You cannot just listen to the candidate and go, I've made up my mind. So these focus groups afterwards, this is my opinion. Do whatever the fuck you want. This is America, damn it. But like after these CNN or after these debates where they do the focus group and people are like, she didn't do it for me. That's where I'm like, fuck you. The me that you're referring to. You go fuck yourself. Nobody cares. You don't represent. There's no way 12 people in a room could represent a swing state, right? I hate it when they do this. And I'd love to see the vetting process. I wish there was like a 3-part reality show leading up to the debate where it's just some behind the scenes producers at ABC or CNN vetting who's going to be in their focus group, right? It's fascinating.
Well, they had this one CNN focus group that was like, they had an undecided voter who was like a full-on MAGA guy, but he just said, I'm an undecided voter. Like he signed up on the forum and they never vetted him. So he was like going on there as an undecided voter saying shit like, yeah, that actually made me want Trump even more. Even though he's like, people look this guy up and he's just a hardcore MAGA guy. So like, I don't really trust any of that horse shit.
Yeah, but I hate how they're like, so you don't, now you're undecided or now you're not. It's like, this individual thing. I'm not saying we should be communist. I really don't care if we are, because I'm not happy with the way it is now. So, but like that, I'm just saying I'm not making that case with this. What I am saying is that we each owe it to the entire country to be as informed about these things as possible. And when it comes to this guy, I'm just making the same point as before. When it comes to Trump, it should be incredibly obvious that it's the wrong choice, unless you're either that much of an imbecile yourself or
stupid
you're
or
just
evil
on board with all the racist shit that comes along.
Either way, you're so stupid that you are evil, and you're so evil that you are stupid. So they're pretty much synonymous. But
yeah,
that's why I'm saying I want to talk to these people, not necessarily yell at them. It's fine to yell at them here. This is us. This is us space.
I was just not going to talk to him, not necessarily.
No, I know, but that's why I'm
Andrew
saying
is going to do the yelling.
The reason I want to do
only
this
if they
is
deserve
because
it.
the end of our conversation must result in either they utterly change the places they're getting their information from, or I do. One of us agrees to do that.
It's going to be a long conversation.
But why?
Yes,
I mean, you already know you're getting your information from like credible. Where would the alternative be? A Facebook meme?
My point being, the reason people are behaving this way is because they are constantly told lies, and I'm confident that I'm not listening to lies.
We're all being told lies. We're all being told lies.
They're just dumb enough to believe
how
it.
gullible you are, or how quick you are to be like, look, there's this. I wish I had it on hand. There's this video of a guy. There's a guy off camera and a guy on camera with a MAGA hat. It's funny. He just wrote MAGA on a piece of paper and stuck it on a red hat. But they're saying, Joe Biden said, what do you think?
Yeah.
And then he goes, oops, sorry, that was Donald Trump. Oops, sorry, it was Biden. Oops, sorry, it was Trump. And you could just see how they're like, well, that's why Joe Biden should be in jail. Oops, it was Trump.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was being totally serious. You know what I mean?
Let me put it like this.
Bullshit. These people are fucking, they're either bad faith or they're that.
They are bad faith. And that's my point, is we have to.
What are you going to do about it?
We have to get to these people and
re-education?
No. This is key. This is actually important. We have to find out who is convincing these people. Who is convincing these people that it is okay to behave this way, And that's the person we got to go after. We got to get rid of him. We got started,
Lindsey
by the
Graham.
way, with tenant media. This is how we do it. We have to go after the sources of this bullshit.
But a lot of
because
people
they have
don't
people
believe
behaving
that
like
shit.
Russian agents.
I think the people that actually believe this, I think there are more people voting Republican because it suits their agendas than there are people who are really that dumb and think this is all true. I think the people attending his rallies are duped. Those rallies aren't getting a lot of numbers. Do you know what I mean? Like,
how dare you? They are the largest
there
rallies we've ever seen.
There are a lot more people out there who are like, I need the tax cuts. I do hate immigrants, and I you know what I mean? Like all the like abort. There are a lot of people who will just say, where are they out on abortion? Okay, I'm voting for them. There's a lot of those people. I think there's probably more of those people than there are. Look at so this is interesting because I'm having the new evangelicals on my show Monday. These two hosts, they're evangelical Christians, but they're super left. And they are very critical of the way that politics has infiltrated religion. And like, you know, sometimes it's just like a preacher up on
Is this a chicken or the egg type situation? Because I would say religion is taking over politics.
I mean, that
I think
it may come
capitalism invaded politics and religion, frankly.
But there's a lot of I think there's a lot of people who are brainwashed, and then, you know, I'm using the term loosely. There's a lot of people who have a current belief system, and this comes into it. And whenever I have a lefty podcaster on, and I'm just kind of going off, cut me off anytime, but anytime I have a lefty podcaster on,
I'm cutting you off. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, that's in a red state. I try to ask them, and it's come up in this way. So I reformed the question to be like, is politics to some people, like Trump's base, like MAGA people, is politics more like a faith-based belief system than democracy or basic democracy, right? And are they treating it as the same as with your religion, where one step away from your religion is a step toward Satan and hell, right? Like the opposite. So are they like, hey, if we move away from our faith-based belief system, politics, the party or the candidate, then we're one step closer to something that's very, very bad. And I'm not even saying immoral, because their guy is completely immoral, but like moving towards something that means the end of it all. And we feel that way. We feel like if Trump gets elected, there it goes. That's the end of democracy. But we don't look at this as the last straw, because there's still Congress, right? There's still labor. There's all kinds of things that we could rely on. But some people look at it as just total dire straits. It's really black and white.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a problem with so many people being religious. Like, you know, this is why I genuinely believe we need some sort of re-education system. The problem is if it comes from the government, like, people are just going to be inherently skeptical, you know? Like, imagine if we had like a buyback program, but it was like the government pays you money to like go to college and it's like an actual course. But the problem is if the government's doing it, then there's going to be that subset that is like, it's all lies. They'll go collect the money and not like believe anything. So that's why I don't, you know, we need that, but I don't know how to really implement it.
I just think there's very few people out there who not very few, but I think the smaller percentage of Republican voters are people who actually believe what they're hearing. They're out there. I don't think it's the majority or even near that.
Jesus is gonna send me
they
to
might
hell
not even
if I
vote.
don't vote for Trump.
They might not even be registered to
I'm
vote.
burn in hell with Lucifer and the stones.
I think most Republican voters do not believe the things they say they believe.
But they are running for school boards.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yep. It's real bad. The time has come to nip this. The bud is gone to nip this to the stalk.
But Jake, what were you saying about either they need to change where they're getting their news from, or you do? You weren't being literal, right?
I was.
Because what does that mean? Like, you're totally.
It means Jake's gonna have a 74-hour fucking call marathon, and it's gonna end with a gunshot. That's what it means.
I'm saying
because you want to identify where they're coming from. That's why you need to.
No, I just want to put it's like the free school lunches for everybody. It's the same stakes for everybody. I don't think that's a big risk on my part, but it's you've got to be willing to put that forward. I don't think there's any point in us having a debate about the finer, what is it, the tariffs that Trump wants to do, and we could take the time to explain
what the fuck tariffs mean.
How that is a tax on the American people. And yada, yada, yada. Why are we even bothering with this conversation? Why are we deciding another thing, splitting another hair? We need to talk about the very basic facts on the ground here. For example, January 6th. That was a coup. A guy tried a coup. This is a thing where if one of us is right about this, either they're right and actually Trump did win the election and actually Joe Biden did steal the election, and in which case Joe Biden's got to go to prison, and I've got to be willing, even though I voted for the guy, I've got to be willing to advocate for him to go to prison because I was misled. I don't think that's the case, though. I think they were misled.
It's demonstrably not the case.
Yeah, we have to be able to sit down and discuss that and arrive at reality together.
That's where we disagree. I say fuck them. But
what's the
I'll watch it, dude. Huh?
All right. I mean, like, what's the alternative?
What's the alternative?
Is we've got the alternative is we're in this eternal struggle against make 'em up.
Did you say war?
Civil war?
Yeah. I'm sarcastically saying what's the alternative?
Sign me
when
up.
You have 50% of the country. Let me put it like this.
I think it's 25.
Why are we not willing? Why are we willing to do so many drastic things but nothing boring? That's my feeling.
I don't know. I comics about it and shit. I mean,
well, yeah, but you also have the ability to make comics. I don't have that ability.
I think
tedious conversations is my jam.
Your show is, and I think that debate would do wonders for viewers, especially new viewers coming to your channel for that and being like, "Oh, this guy's making a lot of sense." What I don't get is that it'd be one thing to try and convince them, change their mind, and maybe it'd be easier to do with 20-somethings than I don't know. Assuming Willie D isn't a 20-something, somebody more set in their ways, it might be a little.
I'm a 20-something. I'm young and stupid.
I do think
who's older than me who supports Trump wants to yell at me because I'm so dumb.
There's a chance they could convince you. That's just not. I mean, that's.
Well, that's Jake's pitch, assuming that Trump supporter is listening, right? They're trying to bait them into go like, well, yeah, wow, and then I'll convince them that Trump is God.
I do think it's courageous as fuck to even do it, though. I would just be so aggravated and triggered the whole time. Like, this is ridiculous. But
truthfully, you're right. I think there's a close to 0% chance that'll happen. But I'm being sincere. They could, if they present me with rock hard and solid
be
information.
A Trump voter or something.
Probably not. In fact, I'll take this. I'll be clear with them. Certainly not, because there are a thousand other things Trump has done that, in my opinion, disqualify him from, frankly, walking free amongst us. He needs to be in prison. But they could sincerely, they could get me to advocate for Joe Biden going to prison. Absolutely. If he stole the election, if I was genuinely that wrong, sure. Yeah. Toss his ass in there with Trump. Yeah.
But we already proved that's not.
Yeah. I've read the entire January 6th report. I'm confident that I'm correct, but I will go into it with an open mind. I'm a rock solid atheist, but I still have religious faith all the time where my heart is open and I'm willing to accept.
It's just like when somebody says, dude, I will bet you $10 million that I can jump further than you. Dude, that's what you're doing, right? Because you got to convince me that you're not actually entertaining the idea that someone that off base could be.
I'm concerned that you can't think you're right, but still be open to changing your mind. You know,
I am, but not that. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's all I'm saying.
Here we go. It's happening.
But Joe Biden didn't steal the election. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 100% confident. Let me take that back. I am 99.9 repetend% confident that he did not steal the election. I have read nearly every court document you can on this, including all 60 of the judges' decisions in their cases. I am very confident.
They were thrown out. They didn't have standing. That's what they said. They said that my cases had no standing. How dare they say that about my wonderful cases?
But you know how you listen to somebody and there's two ways you can listen to someone. One where you're not trying to hear them, but just trying to think of what you're going to say to shut them down or get the next gig or whatever. Mm-hmm. No, I'll listen to their actual case and I'll take the long, excruciating time to sit down together with a shared Google tab and go looking through the evidence and discuss why I don't believe the nonsense that they're inevitably going to present me with when I see it. But I will go in with an open heart. I'll be willing to say, yes, if you can prove it to me, I'll change my mind. And on more gray area things, you might get me to change my mind. Case in point, Sandy got me to change my mind twice on nuclear power. I was all for it like 2 months ago. Now I think we shouldn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You just do, even though it's an extreme thing, it's the same thing. Let me put it like this. I could go into a debate with a flat earther the same way. I'm fairly confident.
Dude, that just doesn't okay.
That's a lot more fun.
But you can't be, I don't know if you said shocked or surprised, but you can't be shocked that I am just like, dude, the earth is round, I'm moving on. I am closed-minded about that. I don't think that should be surprising.
No, for you, yeah, but in the context of having a discussion with somebody where I'm going to ask them
I'm not going to fucking if I was having the discussion, but
yeah, exactly. I'm just saying if you're going to have the discussion, you have an obligation to put forth the same statement, even if it feels ridiculous.
I would have this discussion about quote unquote God with somebody's faith. Somebody from a particular faith, maybe not white American Christian male, but if somebody from totally outside of my sphere demographic, I don't know, wanted to, like an elderly person from anywhere in the world wanted to go back and forth about the existence of a God or God, I would totally do that. Because I think that there's knowledge worth gaining there, even if I don't end up being convinced. Whether the election was stolen or if the earth is round, no. I don't see what part of that leads you. Oh, well, at least I got this out of it. No. I mean, maybe just for the fun of it, but there's no...
It's a psychological operation to better understand the absolute depravity of the human condition.
That's not what he was saying, but I do agree with that.
Yeah, no,
well, that's my argument.
I think I can take one more attempt at trying to sum it up succinctly.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I think you have in such a conversation an ethical obligation to, within your own heart, be willing to accept that your worldview is incorrect. If you are asking somebody with an opposing worldview to accept that their worldview is incorrect.
That's how I got to where we are here.
Yeah.
I was a fucking Republican. Like, obviously.
Same. Well,
I do that, like very open.
Also, I think you guys have a severe disadvantage here that I don't, which is you guys were born with sense. And when I was a lad, my friend asked me what religion I am, and I was like, Scientologist, I suppose. And they were like, oh, I didn't realize. So did you do like the Thetans? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And to me, I had just heard the word Scientologist, and I thought that meant that I used science to decide what the world was. And I had gone around saying Scientologist.
That sounds cool.
I'm not terribly bright, so I have to every single day. I have to wake up and walk around the earth knowing that things I think are true are very likely not true.
One time somebody tried to argue with me that the only reason there are any morals is because of the Christian Bible. And I was like,
I hear that all the time.
Not even God, just the Bible, like the book.
I was like,
God,
no.
he's here or there.
I was like, no. And they go, so you really don't even want to talk about it? And I was like, it's fucking ridiculous. What are you talking about? But
it is insulting.
When it comes to Scientology, one time I was at San Diego Comic-Con and they had a booth. This was 2007. And there was a person with a clipboard just kind of in the aisle catching, it's 120,000 people walking around. They were just trying to catch people walking by. They were leading with this question, hey, have you heard of Scientology? And I said, yeah. And they go, what have you heard? And I said, that it's crazy stuff and just totally uncool. And she was like, they said, really? Where'd you hear that? And I was like, everywhere. It's like, I can't believe you're pretending this isn't out there, right? Whoa.
Everywhere. Sea Org with the fake ass baby.
It's everywhere. What are you talking about? The guy's a science fiction writer. I just started like laying all this stuff out.
That's funny.
Here's the wild thing. Here's an especially wild thing. All right. Scientology has the same issue as like Republicans do, where people that are against them know way more about the stuff that they're up to than even they do. And the reason for that in Scientology is fascinating because they are told when they get in that if they learn things about their own religion ahead of schedule, they'll just die.
Yeah.
Which means that when you try to tell them, like, wait, have you not heard about Xenu and all that? They'll be like, I got to go by. It's crazy.
They're not ready. They're not ready for it. They might already be dead. Like,
it was one of the few
hearts
times
may have already exploded and they just have to go to the bathroom and die so they don't die around you.
I pride myself on getting to this point in life without really ever laughing in someone's face more than a few times. Like, you're an idiot laughing right at them. But I laughed right in that person's face.
Yeah. Buddy, you're in a cult. I'm sorry to tell you. I know it sucks. This is going to be a hard day for you. But however much of your time you've spent there, however much of your life you've been there has been wasted.
It was just the way they were like, really? Where have you heard that? And I was like, hey.
South Park, Netflix specials, stand-up comedy. What the
yeah.
are you talking
I was like,
about?
you should not be
a guy on the street.
Yeah, you should have led with talking about it, not asking me if I had heard of it. That's just like, why are you doing it? And I had just met Charles Schultz's daughter. And it was like, I was riding high. I was like, that's the coolest thing in the world. And now, and I'm at San Diego Comic-Con freaking out, having the best time of my life. This lady asked me that question. I just bursted out laughing right in her face. You know what else happened at that Comic-Con? You know, Joss Whedon, he's he's been canceled, right?
Has
he? I don't remember what for, but something happened.
Yeah, he's not cool. But like, there was a time where before he had really been known for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, even he wasn't like a really he wasn't a mega director doing Avengers movies. I was in a panel watching Eric Powell talk about his comic book, The Goon. And he had a plant in the audience, stand up and start saying, you copied my character, the Jerk, or something. He had like a character that felt like a ripoff, and they just changed some names. And he was like, fuck you. He's like, fuck you. He's like, why don't you come up here and do something about it? So the guy like takes out a knife, runs up there and like kills Eric Powell. And it was all staged, right?
Okay.
And then
awesome.
he picks up his heart and he starts eating it.
That's awesome.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this panel. And I slipped out a side door into a corridor where, like, it's between ballrooms. So it's like you're just in a sea of people. And there's Joss Whedon. And I knew that he knew who Eric Powell was. And I said, I kind of bumped into him. I was like, oh, excuse me. I was like, oh, hey, man. He goes, hi. And I was like, I just saw some guy literally eat Eric Powell's heart out. And he said, "Oh, I was going to do that."
Damn.
But Joss Whedon. And then he went on to become famous, and
quick.
now he's a bad guy.
What was he bad for? What happened?
He did the standard sex pest, not cool on set, racist stuff.
Oh no!
Just the gamut.
Double dipped.
The whole thing. Greatest hits.
I'm gonna try to just condense it. I don't think I could avoid it, but I'll try to be like a sex racist. I haven't figured out exactly what that is going to be yet, but maybe, I don't know. I actually didn't have a punchline for this that works, and I'm just dying.
You prejudice easier than you could be racist, but that's always the case. But you
all know I have strong feelings about the Danes.
But that Comic-Con was pretty epic, actually. That was one of the coolest. So here's another little story. I'm just realizing I've never told anyone this because I was kind of saving it for this one podcast I go on about comics, and it's just never come up. So I'll just tell it now.
Holy shit!
This was a really slick move on my part. I was pitching a horror comedy comic to Dark Horse Comics. And because this comic I was just talking about, The Goon, was Jake, have you read it?
I've actually seen it, but I have not read it. No. I've heard
it was super popular in that same genre and category. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to ride that out. I can do that too. And I had an idea that I had before I had read The Goon. But at the time, so The Goon was originally self-published with another guy who didn't make the book, but he was helping publish it. And they were real characters, right? Like they had, they didn't use their real names and stuff. And they were always trying to be like real, like overly macho and sexist, and like as a gag, early 2000s. And so I pitched this comic over and over and over again. It must have got in front of them, and they thought it was too similar to what they were doing. Well, in that case, you just say, hey, man, we think this is a little too similar or something like that, right? And let it go. But instead, I got an email from the guy, the main guy. His name is Dwight T. Albatross. See what I mean? Not real name. And he said, my comic was called The Thirsty Alamo. And the email was like, do we need to talk about the Thirsty Alamo? And I got right away that he meant he was looking for me to be like, no, sorry, I'll stop doing it. Right? Like it was sort of kind of trying to intimidate me. Like, do we need to talk about this?
Okay,
or are you going to stop?
Albatross.
Yeah. So my reply was, so I thought about it for like 2 minutes. My reply was, I'd love to talk about it. Are you interested in publishing it? And I just leaned into being a dummy.
Yes.
And I was like,
of course.
I was like, here's everything I've done. And sent him like this fat PDF. And I was like, here's the character bios. And I listed them all out. I just I went big.
It's really good.
And I was like, here's the full pitch. Never heard from him again. So every couple of months, I would email him and be like, hey, man, are you still thinking about doing this? Because fuck him, man. You want to intimidate me?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, you don't know. What do you think? I'm just some comic book nerd? Check yourself.
No, this is, oh my gosh. Is that the letterhead?
I'm some comic book nerd with a very, very petty sense of vengeance. And I will pursue this for 30 years.
Oh, dude. One time I had a therapist who asked me if I had like a revenge fetish, and I said, I guess we'll see, won't we?
All right.
See how I worked that right in there. I was
in there.
I was ready. But yeah, anyway, I would periodically email that guy and be like, any thoughts on this?
I love that. I love it.
When was the last email?
Oh God. 2009 probably.
Oh, you should just keep it going. Just to
I think we're all thinking the same thing here. I think it's time.
Yes. Write Dwight the Albatross again. See if that even that email still exists. How effing
I think
great
now
would
is
it be?
the time. Do a live on stream.
I don't know if I mean,
no, then we get in legal trouble.
Trying to think of what
If we
email
accidentally see the email.
I could see. I doubt I still have it. But that was like some sort of mild intimidation. I was like, that's not how you do it, man. That's not how you go at people, like trying to break into the industry, like trying to intimidate me from
What was he hoping to
making
gain?
art. Fuck off.
He's trying to stop you from doing a comic so that maybe he could get his comic published. Like, what was he hoping for?
His was already successful too. It was like just,
oh, what a jerk off.
I'm small potatoes. Yeah. Anyway, I was like, yeah, let's talk about it.
Goddamn.
I used to, I'm just remembering this. Oh my God.
It's all coming out.
I can't believe I forgot this. I just remembered. This guy had like a zine going where he was like just putting out like funny articles, and he was being very like, he called himself a coxman. You know what I mean? Like he was being very chauvinistic, funny, tongue in cheek. So he had like a zine with comics and articles. And I was like, I'm going to write this fucker like a fake article and just send it to him. And I wrote like a short, very short essay on how to fart at a party without anyone knowing it was you. Right? I called it Party Farting by Matt Strackbine. And I just sent it to him. I was like, hey, man, do you think this would work in your zine? I actually probably would have been good, but I wrote it in such a way that like nobody would have taken it serious.
Well, what's the advice? Yeah. Give us the advice.
I'm not trying to. I think it was just
trying to memorize the beat of the song.
Part of it was like stand in a corner with your back, and like hopefully it like goes up. It was. I think I called it like
what
a stovepipe effect or something. I don't know. It was just so ridiculous. It was just
that's not
first
real.
draft.
Right, that
it was just first draft. Did not care.
Hard-won experience ruining a lot of parties has brought you the stovepipe effect. An article by Matt.
There was like tuck your pant legs into your socks. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
It was so dumb. It was like the most immature thing I could think of. I think I came up with the idea, wrote it, and sent it in like 10 minutes. It's pretty good, right? Everyone's gonna be talking about the stovepipe tomorrow. Watch. You just stand in a corner, back to the corner.
I would like to do either a show or like I'm talking about a one-off thing where we literally just pitch not content we don't like, but content we think is least likely to ever get an audience. Like I'm like, there's no way there's an audience for this sci-fi karate novel about whatever. I think they'll arrest you in Canada for that, as well they should.
Well, I'm going to be reading from my novella on Friday if anybody wants to tune in and quickly tune out.
Actually, your novella, I think, is in serious danger because I find the concept fascinating, which means there's not going to be much of a crowd for it. I like it.
Of this weekend?
Yeah, I'm so excited for this one, man.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good to hear.
Well, you know, like we've talked about this stuff before. Like, you know how I feel about like scientific hauntings and like speculative sci-fi and like that, man. This is directly up my alley.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it turns out that way. We'll see if it meets your expectations. What I meant to say. We'll see if it turns out that way. What does that mean?
What the fuck?
We'll see if it meets your expectations. I hope it does. I'm a better storyteller than a writer, so we'll see.
Let me tell you, I'm impressed that we're still talking right now because everything else that says internet connection associated with it has gone down. If I just randomly cut out, it's God doing a Jakesit.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
sometimes when I'm on Ethernet cable, I'll disconnect it, and everything is my internet video or whatever I was watching keeps going for a few minutes. Is there residual
I don't
connection? The Wi-Fi is off. I turn the Wi-Fi, I plug in the Ethernet cable, I go to network. There's the Ethernet and the Wi-Fi. I turn off the Wi-Fi. After the show, I'll have a video going. I'll unplug the Ethernet. I'll pick up the laptop, leave the room. It's still going.
This makes no sense. I can't fathom that.
I don't
have an explanation.
I'm thinking the video has like a delay.
Jenny Chuckles all about.
I think the video has a delay independent of the connection.
This isn't a bit.
Look.
It's called buffering. It downloads like a minute ahead.
Well, the video that makes sense with, but a video call, that's why it's confusing to me, because you guys are responding in real time.
No, not the call.
We're doing a video call now. That's what this is.
Yeah, so whatever's happening with you now is crazy.
Matt going like, I'll plug the internet and the video's still on.
Okay, fair enough.
If you close your eyes, is it really dark?
God damn it.
Or you just can't see what it is, actually.
It's pretty fucking dark.
Because our eyes don't work that way. Think about it. There might be wild animals out there with eyes that work. No, what I'm doing is the Terrence Howard. Remember we talked about Terrence Howard saying that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the math guy?
0.1 is the same as a dime or whatever it was. Like, yeah, I'm doing that with everything these days. Because they just had one of the Weinstein brothers try to.
One of them?
Yeah, whoever. He was on Joe Rogan trying to justify Terrence Howard's science, which is. He emailed.
Terrence Howard science is genuinely entertaining, and I don't feel so bad.
He sent a 36-page thesis, I guess, to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, Neil deGrasse, and because he called him out about it on Joe Rogan, he said he dismissed it. He said it was dumb, blah blah blah. He said all this stuff. So then Tyson says, there's like a 7-part TikTok I watched where he's like, no, this is what I said. He goes, I went through the entire thing exactly how you would if you were creating a peer-reviewed document. I had an opening statement, a closing statement. He had all his remarks on there and he read them out loud. And it was like, in short, it was like, hey, buddy, you're all enthusiasm, no skill. Right? You really want to do this. But should you? I don't know. Maybe practice a little first.
The Jake method.
No.
Of both lovemaking and podcasting.
Dude, you have a willingness to learn as you go. I think you've demonstrated that tonight. Yeah. And this is not that.
An insistence on not learning.
I want to see your debate.
Nope.
I don't.
What's happening?
There he goes. That's a buffer. Right? Is that a buffer, Andrea? The spinny, little wheel?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like a window where they're trying to get him back in, right? But then it's not happening.
So what happens when you unplug your Ethernet cable and it keeps going?
So it buffers.
Like a wind-up doll where it's got to uncrank?
That's right. So like every minute, so it downloads the video.
It's like a
minute
balloon
ahead
that
of
goes
time. Yep.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Right.
I get it now.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah. I thought you were
the
joking.
internet's fascinating. I was joking.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought at first I thought you were joking, and then I thought it was real. But then Jake thought you weren't joking, and then I lost it. I lost my mind. It was really funny.
That was it. You cracked.
Yep.
Bink.
It's all over.
Well, so I don't know. What do you got going on? Doing a show Friday?
I haven't decided
I didn't mean
yet.
to put you on the spot. Do you want to plug anything?
Do I want to plug any? I haven't decided yet on that either. Next question. I'll go back to that.
Do you want to see an old clip that I came across that is like maybe a conversation starter?
What does that mean?
You have to watch it cold.
Well, an old clip of what?
somebody mentioned me. I came across it and I was like, wow. That was right. That was a turning point.
Was it me?
No.
Okay, well then, yeah, let's watch it. As long as I'm not involved, I'll watch it.
Okay, I don't want to trigger anybody, but
as long as I'm not involved. Ooh. 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 Hmm. Oh, let's turn that down, actually. It's the wrong direction.
Zeke Gonzalez writes in and says, I'm glad John survived his letter hack interview because that guy is crazy. Matt likes his own tweets and must be stopped. Also, the best. It's really hearing from you, Zeke.
so Zeke Gonzalez got Anna Kasparian to say my name on air, like a couple of maybe a few days after she unfollowed me on Twitter because I hosted all of the TYT mods that quit on the show.
Oh, I thought that was a lot earlier then. Okay, that's even funnier.
Because I had John.
That's good context. Okay.
That happened on Saturday. I had John on the show Monday. That was Tuesday.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I'm in. Did you see that fucking dumb bitch's like recent thing about the fucking Venezuelan gangs? She's all in on the V gangs.
I've invited her on the show multiple times.
Yeah, just open invitation to Anna Kasparian with multiple Ks. Feel free.
I saw, I don't know if this is real, it was a screenshot, but I saw somebody repost what appears to be a TYT poll.
I looked into that, and that is true. Now, I looked into that, okay, and it's even worse than the screenshot because I looked at it after the debate.
Fuck.
Now, you might think, okay,
are they saying hypothetically?
Well, like, okay, so you might be thinking, you see that, oh, are they just asking about every issue? Like, oh, what do you think about this? Just going issue by issue. That was the only debate-related poll on their entire page, was if illegal transgender surgeries on aliens or whatever the fuck in prison. That was the only poll. Like, they directed somebody to write that poll, and that's the only content they did on the debate as far as polling goes.
It's just for clicks, right?
Oh, it's so good.
They're just trying to get clicks, right?
I mean, I think Anna's going through like a midlife crisis or something.
I've identified for myself what it probably is. You cannot. All right, look. It's not well thought out because I didn't count on talking about this, although I am the one that showed the clip.
That's true. All of this is correct.
When your social media profile is your work profile and your work is being highly critical and heightened anxiety and anger about current affairs in the news, that will change you. I firmly believe that when like if my show ever got to 1 million subscribers and I had 50,000 people watching me live, I would stop going live. I would maybe not permanently, but the majority of my content would be pre-recorded stuff with a live chat, because you will fall victim to audience capture in some form. Your ego, our egos cannot fucking handle it. You will change. It will change you.
Can I go further on that when you're done? Finish up.
Yeah, of course. And like being on that channel your whole career and starting from, I don't even know what I'm doing, to the face of the network, even though they have all those other shows and everything, right? This is what they call the main show. That will, that is not healthy. That is not cool. Somebody should have said, this isn't good for you anymore. It's not doing, no one needs to be angry on camera all the time. Now, look, I admit, I don't watch that show a lot, but from the clips I see, I'm kind of glad I don't watch that show. And if I do tune in, it's Jink yelling. Dude, that's why I stopped watching in 2016 and we're like, holy shit, right? Like, really? This is still going? I actually stopped watching more like 2019, but yeah, I think that I think one would be a completely different person if their whole online presence and profile wasn't representative of what they do for a living. Like the lines are just gone. There's no barrier, there's no boundary. It's just this is you all the time. So you can't even say anything like to be critical of people who are critical of you when everything you do online is being critical is very weird. It's very weird. And you
Well, yeah.
oh, I can't even say anything casual online. Right? That's because you've made no distinction. There's no separation between I'm on the clock or I'm off the clock just being me. It's that can't be right. That's bad. That's
I have
touch
a
grass quick.
personal view on that subject because I started doing YouTube and stuff when I was like 13 years old. So when I was a teenager, I definitely fell for audience capture. Like, people would come to my stream and give me $5 when I was like 17 years old, and I'd be like, oh shit, I need to do whatever I can to keep these guys in my stream because I'm getting free money to buy video games and candy with, So, like I definitely like, yeah, when I was 17, 18, 19 and I was streaming, just whenever someone would enter my chat, I want to keep these people here. I want to have them watch my stream. I want to have them like the things that I like. And I like, retrospectively, I know that changed me, like I would say certain things to like keep certain audience members there. I would not say certain things like, for example, I voted for Bernie in the primary. And, I had a couple debates about it, but then I learned to stop talking about politics, because then everyone's going to leave your stream and then you're going to stop getting money and stuff like that. And then, at a point I was like, I can't really take this anymore because, I have to choose, like, do I want to be myself or do I want to be this character for the internet? So that like, which is also like my brand, which is also like my job ? But it's also like a representation of me as a person, right?
It's
so like
brand.
there's the disalignment.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And like that's the thing. I don't
keyword.
want to have a separation of a brand and me. That's way too much shit to keep up with, right? And that drove me crazy when I was like fucking 20, right? So like that's why like nowadays I'm a lot more standoffish with the internet, is that I just, that whole aspect of it scares me.
But John came right on that show, man. It was awesome. He was such a champ because I had people in my I'm not going to say who, but I was DMing with somebody the night after the mods came on. Like for the rest of the night, they were trying to call me out. It's so uncool what you were doing to John. And I was like, I didn't do anything to John. You're talking about people in the chat. Like, come on. That's the whole show is about moderating. Like, help me here. And I finally won them over. They were like, you're right. You're totally right. Thanks for talking it out. And I was like, no problem. But that show ended late. It was like 3:30 in the morning before I was done talking to them. And I was like, oh, West Coast. They should have taken pity on me. But yeah. And then I said, hey, John, just this is the show I did tonight. Feel free to cancel. I wouldn't be offended. We'll just say something came up or whatever. And he was like, no, I'll do it. Fucking cool, man.
There you go.
And he said I watched most of the episode with the mods. Yeah, I'll come on. And I was like, it's the same interview I had planned before. I'm not going to modify it. I'm not that guy who's like, ooh, I got to modify this. I'll get some fucking awesome clicks if I talk shit or yell or have gotcha questions. I just can't bring myself to do that. Like if I had Anna Kasparian on the show, I would not be like, what the fuck were you saying about the migrant? I would not do that.
I would. Well, I mean, I got two modes. I got interview mode, and then I got like, we're gonna have a good conversation here, and that's in sarcasm.
I mean, I would have a lot of questions.
I don't know if I would be able to do interview mode with that. Like, she's just too dumb.
I would really, really, really hunker down on the questions and have like it would be revealing without it being like ooh, that question's a setup or whatever, you know. But anyway, I'm trying to talk about it without talking about the questions I already made notes on.
I gotta use the bathroom. Like,
we should wrap.
Okay, well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm
21
thinking
a.m. on these.
Like
guys.
if I say I need to use the bathroom, you're gonna use that as an excuse to run away. So, you know, but we can end. Do you want to end?
I mean, you can leave early if you want.
I mean, I need to use the bathroom. It's not that deep. It's like 5 minutes tops.
I got stuff to do.
Oh, you got stuff to do. So, but you're trying to make me take the blame. That's what you're. Oh yeah, man. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, if you got stuff to blame, you know, it's just don't worry about it, man. Like, no. This is you shutting down the stream. Just to be clear, with everyone in the chat room tonight, this is not me. This is fraud. Frankly, I won this show by a lot.
Yeah, you can believe that if you want.
I will.
It's a stretch, but maybe I'll debate you on it. You can convince me that you really did win the show. No, I'm still not that guy.
Well,
I tried for a second, Jake. I can't do it.
It's not gonna happen.
You know what is gonna happen?
I believe that is illegal in at least 37 of the
You
53
lose.
states.
You lose the show.
I lose? What does that mean? I lose. How do you lose a show?
You lost the show.
Are you fucking stupid?
I won
lost the show. How do you win a show? What does that mean? This is a game show? What do you mean you won the show?
Yes.
What?
I won the show.
I don't know. Nah. I don't think so.
Keep talking, Andrea.
Oh, I'm talking.
You ever hear the expression "you're wasting your breath"?
No. It's the first time.
Thought you had to take a bio break.
I do. I'm holding it in just for this.
Like doing like pre-interview for the letter hack now.
God damn it.